Which statistic, mean, median, or mode, is most appropriate in each of the following situations? So here we're going to start to see why we have three different averages. These are all kinds of averages. Mean, median, and mode. So, all right, so here we go. First question. Tables in the dining hall are numbered 1 through 12 for students who eat there. The principal calls out a number for the table that will go through the buffet line first. The other tables follow in order of the table numbers. One student is sure the principal calls certain tables more often. There's the key phrase. She keeps track of which numbers are called over a 21-day period. She's sure there's unfairness happening. So, some tables are called more often. That's mode, isn't it? Mode is the number that occurs the most often. So that's mode, and we use mode as an average. If you asked what is the average number of cars per family in the United States, would it be 2 cars or 3 cars? We don't want you to add them up and get 2.17659. That'd be kind of silly, wouldn't it? We don't. The best kind of average in that case would be the mode. We mean what's the number of cars most commonly had by families in the United States? Maybe 2 cars or maybe 3. What's the most common number? What's the number that occurs the most often? That'd be the right kind of average for a question like number of cars or number of kids or the average shoe size, right? What men's shoe size is used most often? Is it 9 or 10, 8, whatever? So that's a kind of average called mode. All right, so the next one. The offensive line of a football team is larger than previous years. The program will list a statistic to show it. So what's going to be the best kind of average to show the average weight of the offensive line on the football team? That's going to be mean. Because mean is where you add them up and divide. It's kind of scribbly there. Add them up and divide by n. I should write it this way. Add them up and divide by n. Total of all the numbers. So you just add up all the weights of the football players and divide by n, total number of players. That would be the mean. That's the most typical average we're used to. Now down here, a reporter is doing a story on the falling prices of homes in a large neighborhood. The reporter wants to demonstrate how the prices have fallen for the typical average. Right? Typical is average home, not just the most expensive. So which one of these averages helps you to get the typical and not just the most expensive? That would be median. So median it's used when we have really high or low numbers in the data set. So if you have super high or super low numbers in the data set, it can throw things off, right? If I was saying, we have, so that would be for salaries at a company or house prices in a city. So if in your city, there's some house prices that are really low and then some like $10 million houses, that, if you take a $10 million house and a $200,000 house and you add them and divide by 2, you're going to get an answer that's over 5 million, right? Because even if you just take the 10 million and divide by 2, that's 5 million. This is going to be even a little bit higher. So, and the average of these two is not $5 million. I mean, it's not the real average, right? So if you have a whole bunch of houses and an expensive one, if you add them, if you do the mean, what we did up here, it's going to throw things off. It's not a good average. But the median, that's what they use. If you watch the news, whenever you see reports of house prices in a city or salaries in a company, you have the people making minimum wage, then you have the president of the company making a lot of money. And so you can't just add their salaries and divide by 2. The president's salary will make the average seem really high. So when you have really high or really low numbers, that's when it's better to use the median. Why? Because the median, remember what it does? It just says order them, and take the middle number. Just take the middle. So it doesn't matter how high the high numbers are or how low the low numbers are. You just put them in order and you take the middle number. So the median is not affected by really high or really low numbers. It's just the one in the middle. Doesn't matter how high the high one is, how low the low one is. It's just the number in the middle. You're not adding them up. That's what we do for mean. And there's some appropriate times for that. But for data sets that have really high or really low numbers like salaries or house prices, you'll notice whenever you watch the news, they always use median. They'll talk about the median house price because that way it's not affected by the really high and really low numbers. It's just the number